folks, welcome back to another episode of Walk the Talk in 2023. And today we're joined by our first female guest for the new year, Sarah Jarmaine. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolute pleasure. So, Sarah, you've just obviously recently come into our network over the last few months. And let's talk a little bit about your why. So, with respect to your business, I know a little bit about what you're looking to achieve with your name and your branding. But as an intro for a real estate agent that might be watching this or a potential home seller or buyer, who's Sarah Jarmaine and what's all this stuff about your branding?
Sarah Jarmaine. I'm a busy woman. That's who I am.
You are.
So
mum, wife, entrepreneur,
wife,
business owner.
farmer.
Farmer.
Yes. I help my husband with his business.
Yep.
Plus, real estate. Reason for real estate is I like helping people achieve their goals and dreams as well.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason for real estate.
Yep.
Even though I've got a busy life, I still make time for other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you obviously come from a farming background?
Yes. Growing up, we had almonds in McLaren Vale.
Yep.
So that's where we sort of started. My parents had a hobby farm.
Yeah.
Then
cool.
when I moved interstate and I met my husband, he had grapes, and then we grew pomegranates and had commercial pomegranate farm. Then moved back here to Adelaide and we have a cherry farm.
That's awesome. I've always said that farming people are the best people, the nicest, most genuine, sincere people in life, to the point that my daughter Demi, who is 12, I'm like, right, when you marry someone, I want you to marry a farmer who goes to church on Sundays, because I know he's going to be a hard worker. He's raised with good morals and ethics from the land, and he loves and appreciates the land and Mother Nature as much as I do as well.
Yes.
So, fingers crossed, hopefully she meets a good husband like you have, being a farmer as well in the years to come.
That's right.
But we'll worry about that later. She's still very young, my little baby princess at this stage. So let's talk a little bit about, obviously, the history, farming. You've done a lot there. You're very connected with, obviously, Mother Nature as such, and Earth and the environment. Let's talk about little community. So where are you based in South Australia?
So in the Adelaide Hills, in Achunga.
Yep.
So we're just a small farming community, mostly horse properties.
Yep.
There's about, I think, 1,200 residents all up.
Okay.
So surrounded by nice farms.
Lovely.
Nice
so
people.
a lot of lovely people, but is it a lot of lifestyle farms, a lot of hobby farms, a lot of producing farms?
A bit of both. So there's a lot of cattle properties and pasture growing. A lot of, like I said, horse properties for adjustment and lifestyle.
Yep. Yeah, cool. So predominantly your area of focus with your business, Sarah Jarmaine Real Estate, like where you mainly concentrated or focused? All throughout South Australia or mainly in Adelaide Hills?
I'm happy to being that mobile agent. I'm happy to go anywhere. Obviously, I'm connected to the hills, so that's my first stop. But wherever someone needs me, I'm happy to put my hand up and help them along their way.
It's really funny. I remember when I first started in the industry in 2009, and it was very much before the evolution of technology like it is today. And it was like, you have to be known in this area and this area only. You need to service that area and that area only, because, back then you would get office walk-ins, right? So you had to have the local shop front in the local area to be seen and known.
With the technology now.
Whereas today I do more business outside of my area. Don't get me wrong. My grassroots still generates a lot of business for me because I'm known in the community, a bit like yourself, very well connected, been there for decades. And you become known, you become sort of this known profile in the area. But with the evolution of technology, I never thought I'd say it here in 2023, if there's a listing down south, I would do it. If there's a listing out north, I would do it. Because with technology, as we mentioned, you can virtually take your business with you anywhere, and your business can go with you anywhere.
That's right. And I'm also licensed for New South Wales, so I could always stretch that border too, go across the border.
Well, an all expenses paid for business trip, absolutely, for any home sellers or consumers in New South Wales. We obviously operate in New South Wales. We're a national network, so a wonderful opportunity. Let's talk about, I guess, a little bit about your commencement into real estate, and more so your reason why to partner with our network. What was the main deciding factors for that choice?
So I've always been interested in real estate. I got my license, I think I was about 20, a
Yep.
long time ago. Um, I never actually worked. I did a little bit of work for Weeks of Macklin. I don't even know if they exist anymore back in the day, just
Yep.
get to get some experience. And then I've just bought, flipped properties continuously.
Yep.
Done a bit of subdivision, done that. And then when I moved back to South Australia, I decided I was going to get a job in a real estate agency, being a franchise agency.
Yep.
I wasn't happy with the way things operated.
Yep.
And then when I was presented, EXP, I thought, no, this is the model for me. It's got the flexibility, the support, everything I needed in a
Yeah.
business.
Yep. And, I was actually just talking about Tony, who we caught up with just before this. And I asked him a similar question and he goes, look, so many agents fall into the traditional route of, you just fall into a traditional office or a traditional franchise, but you get to a point where you got to make two choices. You're either employed by someone or you truly become your own entrepreneur. And often the traditional route doesn't provide that because you are essentially working for somebody else in their business. You're building a business, but it's within their business as such.
Like, it's good experience to see both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Learn. But yeah, I'm strong-willed, I suppose. I like to do things my way and have the flexibility for my family and everybody else, not work to other people's schedules.
Yeah.
And yeah, EXP just gives me that flexibility to do the best for everybody.
You can't put a price on freedom and flexibility, can you?
Right.
Yeah. So you just mentioned before, so we've renovated, we've flipped properties, we've done subdivisions. So if I'm a seller, you're like the complete package because you're not just a listing and transactional agent. You've actually rolled the sleeves up from working on the farm and a property to subdividing to renovating properties and flipping them. So you've been on the other side and experienced all of that.
Yes. And I've run a boarding house as well. So
when do you sleep?
For 2 minutes every day.
Farming wife, renovating, flipping properties, developing, working, running a real estate business, a mum, and running a boarding facility as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Goodness me. You're an incredibly talented individual, obviously. What would you say to maybe a home seller then that you could add as a real point of difference with all those, separate skill sets? Like, what do you really focus as your point of difference when you're meeting with a potential homeowner or a seller?
I think when I meet with people, I need to know their plans from the beginning to end.
Yep.
And I like to make a step-by-step plan, not just be the agent that goes, all right, sign here.
Yep.
You need to know why they're selling, where they're moving to, especially in the current market where there's no rental properties and you can't always find that next house within the month or whatever the settlement terms may be.
Yeah.
So it's just holding their hand, talking to them, advising them, like, talk to your bank first before you make a move.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't talk to a bank or a broker. They think, I've got a house, I'll get another loan. Not always the case. So just sort of guiding them step by step. If they're looking at maybe renovating before they sell, just look at the cost involved, whether it's worth it or not.
Yep.
Because you don't have to sell a house that's been renovated. Someone else might want to come in and put their personal touch, but every situation is different. So you just got to have that conversation and hold their hand and be there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that vibe from you. You got a caring and nurturing nature, I guess.
Yes.
And, I think that's a real added bonus that you can provide to any client, is that it's not just about the next sale authority and getting that listing paperwork signed. I actually shot a video on this just before Christmas, and it's amazing how many people are sitting on equity with the uplift in the market. Now, money's no good if it's just sitting in your home and collecting dust, a bit like a bank account. What's the point of having all this money sitting in a bank account if it's just collecting, dust? It's obviously great as a safety blanket and net, but a lot of clients I met with throughout December was just to help them realize how much equity that they're sitting on with the uplift in the market that we've experienced in the last 2 years. And almost 90% of the time, a lot of the homeowners were like, wow, I know the market's been good, but I didn't think my home would have gone up by that much. But then I'd always ask the question, I'd be like, so Sarah, now that you've got all this equity, what's your plans to do with it? And I would say 99% of the time, it was like you're met with deer in headlights. What do you mean? Like, I'm not just here about helping you sell a home. Sure, that's what that's part of my business and what I do. But what if we could unlock some of that equity, and that 35-year-old kid that's still at home with you, maybe helping them get into the property market or buying it as an investment and they can reside in it? Or is there some equity we can unlock here that you can do that subdivision, buy that investment property that's got good depreciation tax to help pay your home off faster? A lot of homeowners don't realize that. And I think it's a real point of difference that you can provide, is that it's not just about the next listing and transaction. It's how do we add value to a relationship, to somebody's life and world.
Sometimes they don't even have to sell. They think they do, but they don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually said to one client last year when I booked in a price update with them, their immediate response was, Chris, I'm not selling. I said, that's great. Don't sell. That's fine. Let me just keep you updated as to the value of your home in today's market. Because the way I look at it is that whether you sell today, in 2 years, 5 years, 10, 20 years time, I don't care when it is, right? There's always business and opportunities out there for me, but I want to be there that if there's a pivotal time in your life that you do need to sell, that I've added value to this relationship and I'm the first person you think of.
That's right. Yep.
So I think that's a real
that friendship.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. So the transition, going from a traditional franchise model into EXP, how's that transition been? I know it can be daunting. A lot of people don't like change. People like to be complacent and content. There's a lot of scarcity when someone looks at maybe making a change from one brand to another, or from a franchise to a cloud base or a different network. How was the transition?
A relief. It's like a weight lifted.
Was it? It was like a weight off the shoulders. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. I don't know. It's a different feeling. And I know I've got all the other EXP people there to support me along the way as well. So I'm not just out in the open, been ditched and got to defend for myself.
Yeah.
I've got that phone call, help, you're there.
Absolutely.
That transition's just, easy.
Yeah, good. And what were some of the things that I guess really appealed to you about EXP? I mean, obviously, you let's talk about your brand, like Sarah Janzon, because we had some conversations about this, because you don't want to be EXP forever and a day. So we're kind of building a little transitional plan to phase out to be completely Sarah Janzon. Tell us a little bit about that whole branding objective of yours.
Well, I basically want a brand because I believe people come to an agent, not a business as such. So my brand's my name. All my marketing, everybody, it's Sarah, it's me.
Yeah.
So I figure stick with your name, because that's what people already know. And just get it out there. Let them know you're there.
Look,
to be able to style it myself and choose my colorings and choose how I want to look. Yeah.
Yep. So for you, if you're maybe a real estate agent and you're watching this and maybe you're thinking, you know what, I'd love to go out and build my own brand, as Sarah knows, and some agents we've worked with and had success in helping them build up their brand, going out cold turkey as such to start your own brand can be, one, very expensive, and two, can be hard because it's not seen, it's not known. So what we're doing in Sarah's case is we're sort of transitioning over a period of time to help elevate her brand to be seen in collaboration and in conjunction with EXP, because obviously EXP, massive global company now, over 86,000 agents. We've got 42 agents here just in South Australia. We've got market share. It's a well-known, recognised brand now. But what we're doing with Sarah is we're partnering her brand with EXP so she can leverage off EXP. But eventually the goal and objective will be to phase out EXP and everything will just be entirely Sarah Janzon and her beautiful branding. Which I must add, I absolutely love your branding. It's very, it's very classy. It's very crisp. It's nice. It's just easy on the eye, I guess you could say.
Well, I feel branding's got to represent you and what you do.
Yeah.
So, I want to focus on all areas, whether it's rural, lifestyle, residential, land, development, whichever. So it's got to, match what you're trying to sell, I suppose, as yourself.
Absolutely. And look, in 2023, we're talking about the evolution of technology, but let's be honest, people deal with people at the end of the day. Like with whatever we do in life, I base my decisions on experiences that I have with people, whether that's friends, family, or in business. Like, it's based on the experience that you have with somebody.
That's right.
I had a guy detail my car the other day, and I can't even remember the name of his business, to be honest with you right now. I've referred him to 3 family members and a couple of friends because I was so stoked with the service that he provided, how efficient and responsive he was, but more importantly, the quality of work that he did. And it was bloody great value, right? But when I was referring him to friends and family, I actually couldn't remember his business. I was like, I can't remember his business. So I had to find him because we were messaging each other through social media. That's how I got in contact with him. It's crazy. I was thinking one day, right, I cleaned the exterior of my Land Cruiser. I ran out of time. I couldn't do the inside. We just had too much on during Christmas and New Year. And I said to the wife, I think I'm just going to get somebody over to come out in detail and finish the car off, right, the Land Cruiser. Literally the next day, what happens? I jump onto social media and what's popping up in my news feed?
They're listening to you.
They are listening. Yeah, Big Brother's listening and watching. And I was like, okay. Yeah. So anyway, but I guess what I'm getting at here is that even when I went to refer this person, I couldn't remember their brand. It wasn't about the brand. It was about the experience that I had with him.
Yes.
And what he provided. And when I was referring him, it literally took me to go back through my social media messages to find out who he was, to pass on his contact information to the people that I referred to. So branding in 2023 absolutely is all about the person, you, the individual. You are the identity. You are the brand. It's your goodwill. Why not leverage on that? Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be like real estate. Even if you went into a franchise like Harvey Norman, you know the brand, it's advertised, it's pushed.
Yep.
But you get one salesperson in there that just comes up, wants to help you, pushy. You walk away. You don't buy that laptop or whatever you went in for. So, yeah, it's a combination, brand and the person.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're in the new year, 2023. What is Sarah's goals throughout this year that you're looking to achieve professionally, in business, or personally? Because as I said, this is the first introduction of who Sarah Jarmain is, but in about 3 months' time, 90 days, thereabouts, we'll recheck in with you and just to see how things are going, what's working for you in your life, your world, what you'd change or do differently. But what's on the radar for you in 2023?
Radar is just to keep building this business.
Yep.
Just get my name out there. I've been walking the pavement, putting my flyers in letterboxes, knocking on doors, making calls, just letting people know I'm here to help. I might have been with someone else in the past, but now it's me. Yeah, give me a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a red hot crack, and that's the true Australian entrepreneurial spirit, is just having a go. And you know, I truly believe in this industry. It's no longer about how long you've been in the industry and how much experience you have under your belt, because I've seen firsthand guys and girls within our network compress what's taken me 10 years of my career to build it up to where it is today. These guys and girls are compressing it to almost within 12 months and having the same success of what's taken me 10 years to build up. So quick, short-term success. It's a long-term game, absolutely. But if you're willing, consistency. If you're consistent, you're tenacious, you bring good energy, you keep it real and raw, you're enthusiastic, often that will win over time in the industry or experience under your belt. Absolutely. And, you know, if you're willing to have a crack, have a red hot go, people can see that.
Going to.
Absolutely. So, now that's lovely, Sarah. Well, thanks for joining us on this EP of Walk the Talk, the first one of our queens on this episode and Walk the Talk series for 2023. Really appreciate your time. As I said, we're going to check in with you in about 3 months' time, and we'll get more into the nitty-gritty of what's happening in your business, your life, and your world, and how things are progressing for you. But thanks for joining us, folks, on this episode of Walk the Talk. Until the next episode, take care of each other. We'll catch up with you real soon. Bye for now.